So you did that shit last fucking week, and I didn't.
I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
It's like walking around with your fucking dick out or something.
For a week.
Yeah, like, sorry about that. It's like you took a fucking holiday picture and sent it to the family with your dick hanging out. You pulled an Elaine Bennis. She did that shit with her nipple, dude. She took a yeah. I didn't realize that bitch was so rich, man, in real life.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Like, what family is it that she came from?
Well, the Louis Dreyfus family. And he's a French, or he was before he died. He was a French billionaire. So, yeah. She's fucking rich.
Louis Dreyfus.
Yep. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay, so her name is Julia Louis Dreyfus.
Mm-hmm.
How much is she worth?
I think her personal worth is like millions. I don't know what, but like her family is obviously worth billions of dollars. So, which I'm sure she has access to that money which she needs.
The estimated wealth of the family is $3.4 billion as of 2006.
Which is like Trump money.
I don't feel like Trump has that much money anymore.
Well, he might not, but I think at the high end, at one point he had like $7 billion, and then I don't know what his low point was. He always maintained that he was worth at least $5 billion. I don't think that's true, but
according to this, as of 2021, he's worth $2.5 billion.
Oh yeah.
So he lost $2.5. Every other fucking president in the world, or like politician in the world, gets into fucking politics with like nothing, right? Or not nothing, but they don't have a ton of money. And then they leave after like 30 years of being in office with like millions and millions of dollars and mansions and cars and fucking Trump goes in with $5 billion, leaves 4 years later with $2.5.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's people out there who are like, he's trying to steal things and be a fucking piece of shit and stuff, and we gotta unite against Trump because he's not a true American. He's actually a Russian agent. It's like, Jesus fucking
Well, that
Christ.
too, but you know.
Go watch some more CNN there, buddy. That's what I say to you. Good day to you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I say good day.
I said good day, sir.
Well, no one wants to show up, apparently. It's just you and me, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I showed up late because I was finishing off the newest season of Letterkenny whilst my 7-year-old was painting my toenails with some fucking nail polish she got for Christmas.
How are you now?
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Not so bad in yourself.
That's the only thing I know about that show.
To be fair. I fucking love that show. Anyway, yep. So I finished that off, and now I have pink toenails. So, yay. And I'm here. There we go. I feel better than I did last night. Last night I fucking was sniffling and sneezing and fucking all that shit.
Better.
So I feel a lot better today.
That's good, man. I'm glad that the immune system still works. The old immune system there.
Yep. I slept till like noon today. Well, about 11:45-ish. After I got off with you last night. Didn't mean it to sound like that. After we got done.
After we got off together, right?
After we got off together last night playing Halo, I like immediately passed out and I slept till almost noon today. So I guess I needed some sleep.
Dude, that's like all I've done for the past couple of days. It was like I worked Thursday and then Friday, Saturday, and today. Like all I've done is be like fucking sleep. I don't know. My body's just like, fuck you, I'm tired. Like we're not doing shit. I've also been like super fucking hungry too. Like I think it's because I've started working out, but like, goddamn, dude, I got done talking to you last night. And I'm like, I'll just get a snack before I go to bed. And then I ate something. Then I ate something else. And I'm like, well, I'll just make like an egg sandwich. And, you know, that way I'll actually be full. No, an egg sandwich didn't do it. Then I wanted some more. Like, it's like 4 a.m. And I'm like, why are you awake and eating food? You're fucking retarded.
I haven't been into like for the last week, I haven't been into eating any big meals, but I've been like wanting to eat constantly. Like, every 2 to 3 hours, I want some food, something, even if it's just like a quick little like a tuna sandwich or something, or some beef jerky and some pistachios, or like I don't know whatever. Like yesterday or today, I woke up this morning and I ate. My wife went to Whataburger and because it was lunch, she got Whataburger for everybody. I ate like half a burger. I wasn't that hungry, but I needed something. Then a couple hours later, I'm snacking on some fucking Captain Crunch berries, and a couple hours after that, I'm snacking on some of my Christmas lasagna, which not even like a lot, just like a little bit, just a little bit of lasagna on a plate. And a couple hours after that, I grabbed some fucking pistachios and some jerky and a little bit of cheddar cheese, and I'm still hungry. I'm probably gonna eat at least one more time before I go to bed. And I don't know what's going on. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just peckish. Peckish is the word.
Your body's calling for calories or something. It's probably because you're fighting that shit off, and your body's like, "Yo, we need some fuel for this shit."
Maybe.
Guns and Barbecue's here.
How's it going?
Speaking of fuel for this shit, I don't know.
Indeed.
I don't know what that means.
So what have I missed? I was playing with my new camera and realized that you were alive. I was like, oh crap.
Yes, I am alive. Thank you for noticing.
You're very welcome.
Nothing. We've been talking bullshit so far for 5 minutes.
Yep.
6 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah.
It sounds like Matt has the munchies.
Yeah. Matt had some issues last night. Feeling better today.
Oh yeah.
That's a good thing, I guess. Yes. Yes. Okay, so apparently Gun Library Garrett posted a video on Discord. And I'm not seeing it. Which Discord? Did you post it in my Discord? Because that's where a guy would look if you said that to me. Maybe it's in Matt's Discord somewhere. But you have so many fucking channels. Like
Yeah,
I'd have
I
to
need to
sit
know
here
what
for an
channel.
hour.
You know what channel he posted it
Like,
in.
there's no way I'm fine, dude. That's like you posted it in Wikipedia. Go find it somewhere.
I wish there was there is, but it's not very reliable. There's like that search function where if you want to look for something specific, you can.
Okay, let's try that. Gun Library Garrett. Hey, it worked. There's a video from today. Okay, cool. That actually worked.
Nice. On yours or mine?
I don't know. It's in general and gun porn. That's you.
Oh yeah, I saw this. I saw that one.
That's pretty good.
It works. It ain't stupid.
Yeah, except for I feel like that would crack your windshield like way worse than it already is if it has a crack at all.
Maybe. Yeah, a quick change in the weather in the temperature like that might. Yeah.
But, I've seen people use it to like shovel their driveway,
Yeah. That makes more sense because you don't risk damaging, it's just concrete. You know what I mean?
But even then, like, you're burning so much gas to get through that amount of snow, it's not really worth it. You just grab a shovel. But I guess it's cool,
I feel like anybody that put Tonka on the side of their truck probably doesn't care.
True.
Yeah. On their Ranger. I like those old Rangers, the two-door fucking just simple ass fucking small Rangers that they used to make that they don't make anymore. Now Rangers, like a brand new Ranger costs what, like $35,000-$40,000 for like the base model?
I have no idea. Do they still make Rangers? I don't even know. Because I was talking to somebody.
They just rolled them out again, I think.
Oh, they did? Because I know for a while I was talking to somebody and they were like, oh, I want to get like a nice small pickup, and I don't know if I want to get a Nissan or a Toyota. And I was like, why don't you get like a little fucking Chevy S10? I said, those are great. I've owned a couple of them. They're great. He's like, they don't make those anymore. I was like, what? They don't make Chevy S10s anymore? He's like, yeah, they stopped making those years ago. I was like, okay, why would you? It was like, that truck sold like a motherfucker. Like, those things were everywhere. Apparently, they don't make them. I was like, oh,
well, it says MSRP from $25,285, but then anywhere you look, they're like $40,000, dude. They're fucking ridiculous. Jesus. The Maverick's the one you want, but that's the one that Angry fucking hates for some reason.
I saw it. I mean, it reminds me of just like a fucking hybrid El Camino. Like that's
because that's pretty much what it is.
I mean, yeah, because it's like it's a single body piece, So you're not going to be doing any major, you know what I mean? Like there's a reason why the bed and the cab are separate on a truck, and that helps it be a little bit more durable. And that's just something I noticed when looking at things. I was like, It's not really a truck. It's more like a fucking El Camino than anything else. We're just fine. I mean, that's what you want to get.
I'm sure you could put a fair amount of stuff back there, and the fact that it's a pickup truck means you can put big stuff back there that doesn't weigh a lot.
Yeah.
Which is handy in and of itself. But yeah.
Like ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
Bodies? Yeah, it's true.
Dude, there was a story a while back from Colorado about this dude who fucking, I think it was his ex-girlfriend. I don't know. It was some bitch that he fucking hated. And he tied her up with chains to the back of his truck and just drove for like across Denver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like she was dead in the first quarter mile, and then he drove for like another 50 miles.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking vindictive.
I mean, why can't I'm just saying, if it's that bad, just walk away, right?
Dude, there was another story in Denver. This was an accident. This guy fell on the light rail tracks, which is like the subway system, but it's not underground, it's above ground, you know. Fell on the tracks, the fucking train hit him, like hooked onto his body, and they found body parts on the tracks for like from one side of Denver to the other because no one noticed.
Ugh.
And it was his birthday too. Like, happy birthday. See you at work tomorrow. And he's like, okay, I'm getting on the train.
Yeah.
I think he was drunk though. I think that was the deal with that. He was just drunk and fucking fell on the train track.
Yeah, but still, that's fucked up.
Daniel says, NEA got double Rona?
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure I've caught it twice. I'm not positive because I've never been tested, but
I've had the one test. I was gonna go get a rapid test, but they're fucking out everywhere because people are freaking out for some stupid reason about a version of it that's 80% less deadly and less severe. I'm like, why are you fucking free? Because I just wanted to know, because you hear people say, like, because although there's been very few cases of people getting double infected, right? Like, it has happened, and every time that it's happened so far that it's been reported, they're like the second time, like half the time, I didn't even know I had it. I had to get a test for work, and it said I had it again, or I had such mild symptoms that, it just didn't. I didn't realize that's what I had because the first time was so much worse. And I don't know how the whole. I haven't been looking at natural immunity and all that shit when I go over these stories and stuff. So I don't know what the whole natural immunity thing and how long that lasts. But all I know is 15 months after having the Rona, I still had antibodies. Now that's either because my antibodies last a really long time, or at some point in that 15 months I was exposed again, and it. I didn't know I was sick. I didn't know I had been exposed to it, but it bumped up my antibody response. You know what I mean? So I don't know which it is, but like, yeah, I hope that I'd love to get. I'm not going to give a shit if I get the Omicron variant.
Dude, unless the shit changes and they're like, okay, this is now as deadly as Ebola.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it anymore, dude. Like when things were first happening and there were reports of like, who knows what's going on, and like videos of like Asian policemen like passing out in the street and like all of these numbers coming in of like people dying and stuff like that, and it was scary, and they really ramped the fear the fuck up, dude. But now that like we've all lived through at least some of it,
yeah,
I don't even care anymore. People get all fucking butthurt around here about masks, and like they were talking about it on Yankees chat earlier, like, oh, it's SHOT Show, are they going to require masks? I don't want one because it gives me anxiety. Yankee didn't say that. Someone else did on the chat. But I'm just like, fuck, who cares about a mask, dude? It's not a big deal to put a fucking mask on your face if you're going into public and people are going to freak out on you about it. I know that's like liberal or whatever to fucking say. What I care about is a mandate. Like, I'll wear a mask. That's fine. If I'm in a public place, which I don't have to be 24/7, I can fucking wear a mask. I do it at work all the fucking time for 8-10 hours straight. You know what I mean? Because they're paying me for it. And that's what they require as part of paying me for it. And I get it. And they as an employer have the right to ask that. They as a, like a store or whatever, have the right to ask that of people who come in. The government mandating everybody take a jab in the arm is a way fucking bigger deal to me. And if I don't know why people are like making a big deal about the mask, but not even talking about the mandate. They're like double vaxxed and talking about, oh, the mask that I gotta wear. Like, fuck you, dude. You're fucking dumb.
No, I mean, down here we don't have anybody that makes you wear masks like for stores and things like that. Nobody requires it. The only thing is like if I have to like go to work, right? Like, if I have to actually go into one of the check on one of the clients or whatever. If the client requires that people that work with them wear a mask or that employees wear a mask, then if I go in, I have to wear a mask under that one condition. Other than that, nobody down here. There's no businesses forcing people to wear masks or anything. I haven't worn a mask in fucking forever.
Well, Denver has a mask mandate, right? So like Colorado doesn't, but inside the city limits of Denver, if you're a business, you are mandated by the mayor to wear a mask while you're in the store. And again, I don't really particularly have a problem with that. I know that, it doesn't really protect you that much and it doesn't really stop the spread that much and whatever. But if that's what people want for their peace of mind so they leave me the fuck alone, then I'll put on a mask. You know what I mean? Daniel says, would be worth it if you had a green libtard neighbors. Are you talking about the flamethrower?
That's true. It would be. That'd be fun.
Just to piss them off? Paul B says, what do you think would be a good character to play the armor/gun connection for the next John Wick movie? I heard of this really awesome armor from this movie, Rust. I don't know. Maybe she's free. She can probably do a movie at this point, right?
Well, I think he's talking about like somebody to play John Wick's armor. You know how there's a different person that gives him a bunch of guns every movie.
Oh, like the on-screen guy.
Yeah. And I think it's the like you get somebody else from fucking Matrix. You know what I mean? Like get fucking.
That would be cool.
Because I mean, Lawrence Fishburne's already been on there. There's been several people from the Matrix that have showed up on there. Get like the dude who played what's his name, Agent Smith, or get fucking Trinity to fucking play the armor or something. You know what I mean?
It'd be funny if they had Agent Smith, but he was dressed up as a elf lord.
Yes.
And he goes, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Wick. How are we doing today? Hear about this virus? Sorry.
Wendy Howler says, Honda is wrong. Fuck masks. Again, dude, like when they were first like, hey, everyone should wear a mask. I'm like, okay. And then they were like, hey, you don't have to wear a mask. I'm like, okay. It's not like, I understand it's like a freedom of autonomy of your own person kind of deal. And it's the principle of the thing. But I'm saying like, as far as the infringement on your rights, them asking that you put a piece of fucking paper on your face before you walk into a store isn't the fucking equivalent of Nazism. You know what I mean?
And there's a difference between a store asking you to wear a mask and the city of Denver saying you have to wear a mask. One is a mandate, the other one's not. The other one is just store policy. Like, hey, we don't allow people who are fucking blind drunk to come in here and shop in our store. We'll kick you the fuck out. Like, they can do that. The whole no shoes, no shirt, no service bullshit. If they don't want you in there half fucking naked, they can kick you out. It's the same thing. That's different than some government entity saying you have to wear a mask. Those are two different things. One is a government mandate. The other is a business making a decision on how they want to run their business, and you can either shop there and abide by it or fucking go somewhere else.
Masks are akin to mandates. Well, here's the difference between like a mask mandate and a jab mandate, right? The mask mandate, kind of a pain in the ass. You forget it in your car, you got to go back. Like, oh, it like gives me a rash or something if I wear it too long, so I don't want to wear it that long, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Versus a jab mandate, they'll have a complete list of everyone who's had it. They'll have fucking tracking on your phone to make sure that you haven't come into contact with anyone who hasn't been on that list yet. And then they can put you in a fucking isolated fucking quarantine or whatever, you know? Like, there's a huge difference. There is a huge difference. And to me, honestly, I don't give a fuck about masks. I don't. Back when everyone was freaking out about it, before there was even a jab, and everyone was like, oh, we gotta wear a mask. I can't believe. I'm just like, whatever, dude, I'll wear a mask. It's not a big deal. I kind of like it. Like, you can't see my face. I can say, fuck you, and no one knows.
Well, for me, it's not about the fucking mask. It's about whether or not the government's telling you to do it. That's the line for me. If the government's telling you you have to do it, then I'm like, okay, well, fuck you. If it's, your job saying, look, because we have to do business with these people and we just want to make sure everybody's comfortable, because who knows what our customers are going to, how they're going to be. We'd like you to wear a mask when you're working. Or if a business decides, hey, when you come in here, we'd like you to wear a mask, because those are, you're not forced to work for that company. And you're not forced to go shopping at that place. Those are private entities that are requesting something of either their employees or their customers, and they may suffer consequences for that. But it's not the government saying to do that. That, to me, that's a line that's been crossed when it's the government saying you have to do this. And I don't care where it's fucking mask or jab or brush your fucking teeth or whatever the fuck it is. When the government's saying no, you can't go someplace and buy groceries or go to work or walk down the fucking street unless we tell you. Unless you do this one thing, then that is restricting your freedom, and it doesn't matter what it is they're telling you to do. It's restricting your freedom. That's my line.
No, and I agree with that to some extent. And when it comes down to it, like, if I had that big of a problem with wearing a mask, which some people do, then there would be more of an issue. You know what I mean? Since I don't care, it's not that big of an issue to me. So, but as far as the jab goes, I'm 180 from that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not anti-vaccine. Like, before there was a COVID fucking pandemic, I was vaccinated fully. Like, up to, I don't know, whatever fucking. We don't have as many. People our age don't have as many vaccines as like kids these days do. Like, they just have more vaccines, and I didn't get all the weird ones that the kids get now. But as far as the ones that were required of us to get when we were kids, yeah, I'm 100% vaccinated. And I don't understand why they need all these extra vaccines. It's not like we fucking died because we didn't have them.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I have not died of HPV. I'm just saying. So
I'm pretty sure I haven't either. But
they tried to push that on like all my kids, including my son. They tried to communicate my son and HPV. I was like, I don't know, I'm okay.
Wasn't HPV the one that damaged everybody?
It is a virus. It is
not the virus, the vaccine. The vaccine that they gave people for the HPV virus ended up being fucking like terrible for some reason for some people.
If it did, I don't remember that, but I
remember hearing that some people had some pretty bad side effects to it, but I don't remember what exactly they were.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was Yaz, if I remember correctly, was the name of the fucking product that they were selling that got taken off the market, that they fucking heavily marketed to people as a cure for HPV, right? And to some extent, like, they need that, because while HPV doesn't do anything to dudes, like, you can carry it your entire life and not even know it.
Yeah.
But if a chick gets it,
they can
give them like uterine cancer or some shit.
Well, they have potential, like, it's not guaranteed, right? Like, but it could lead to cervical cancer or things like that. It could. I don't know what the percentage of people who have the virus that end up with that is. I don't know. I don't have those numbers or anything, but it can. Yeah. It's
weird how a virus can cause cancer.
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of makes sense if you think about it. Because what does a virus do? It floats around in your bloodstream until it comes into contact with the right kind of cell that it's like matched with. It sticks into it and then injects DNA into the cell so that it can reproduce itself 1 billion times until the cell explodes, and then they go into the bloodstream and the whole process starts over again, right? In a nutshell?
Basically, yeah.
So, like, the potential for it to inject and then something go wrong and now you have a cancer cell. I don't know. I'm just a waiter. I wouldn't know these kind of things.
That's true.
Now, the reason they were pushing the HPV vaccination to guys is they were at least using the excuse that if a guy were to be carrying HPV and had, performed oral sex on a woman or something, then they could be at risk for throat cancer and shit like that.
I'm in
That's
trouble.
what happened to Michael Douglas.
Really?
Captain Zeta-Jones.
No, his wife before then. That's what he.
that's
Seriously,
it.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
he claims. He claims that's the reason he had throat cancer, which he got
Yeah,
taken
but-
care of, and he's in remission and all that stuff. But he
Yeah, it was
claimed
from
it
going
was
down on her. Yeah.
him going down on his ex-wife. That's what he says caused his cancer. That is according to Michael Douglas. That is not my opinion.
Daniel Alexander says cancer is a virus. Actually, no. That is not the same thing. Those are two separate things, very distinctly. There's a girl in Ohio who was permanently crippled from getting the HPV vax as a kid. Her parents did an interview with local MSM who never aired it because there was a big pharma sponsorship said no. Now, there's a lot of that. Did you see CNN named the Pfizer CEO as CEO of the year for some reason?
No,
Yeah, look that shit. Or I guess I could look it up. Fuck me.
Do they make that naming every year, or they just decide to start doing it this year?
I don't know. I haven't heard of them ever doing that before.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, here you go. Albert Bourla, the Pfizer, is now CNN's business CEO of the year. Whatever the fuck that's for.
I mean, well earned,
I mean, they
Done
did
a
make
lot this
more
year.
profits this year than any other year in their history, I'm sure.
They did, and I mean, they bought some companies this year. Like, I mean, really expanding.
They're doing great.
Yep.
Oh, man. You see this in Australia? Speaking of mask mandates, see what happens in Australia because of the mask mandates, and I'm against this shit, right? It's like one thing for you to be like, hey, you should wear a mask, and another thing of like, oh, he's not wearing a mask, and then this happens. Now watch.
Yeah, bro. No. See, that's how you do it. And then you don't sign in. And now I'm going to walk to here with my camera this time.
Can you put a mask
Hey,
on?
oh,
Put a mask on?
whoa, hey, you can't push me around like that.
Can you put a mask
You
on?
can't push
Can
me.
you push the mask on, mate? I'm asking you to put a mask on.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, hey, hey, hey,
I'm
calm
asking you
down.
to leave the shop.
Calm down,
I'm
bro.
asking you to leave the shop.
You can't refuse me service. It's my human right.
Oh,
It's my human right. My human right goes apart yours.
It goes on and on. But yeah, they manhandled him out of the store because he wasn't wearing a mask. I don't know. Again,
I don't know if it's their store, they're the property owner, all that fun jazz. I'm gonna say at that point, if that's what they want, then so be it.
well, I think in Australia, it's not the store doing that. In Australia, it's Australia doing that. And in that case, I 100% support and believe in peaceful resistance, right? Like breaking the rules and being like, I don't care. You walk in without a mask, just like that guy did. And if they want to manhandle you out and arrest you, I guess you have to get bailed out of jail and miss a day of work or whatever, Just the way it is. But I mean, like, unless we have some people willing to sit on the front of the bus, like, we're always going to be in the back of the bus. Like, I seriously, I see parallels between what is going on in this country now and what we're about to have to deal with and what we've been dealing with and the civil rights movement. And I know that sounds crazy to say, oh my God, Honda, how could you even equate those two things? Well, here's the thing, man. They're trying to dehumanize people. They're trying to take away people's inalienable rights. They're trying to, pass rules to make what they're doing legal. They're coming after us on so many different levels, dude. Like, look at the red flag laws they're trying to sneak in and all the different gun things, death by 1,000 cuts that goes on with that. Look at the economy. Look at the border. Look at the fucking mandates themselves and how they're designed to basically fuck people over who don't go along with the program. Like, we're going into a period of time in this country in which we will get exactly the amount of tyranny that we accept, and hence we will get the amount that we deserve. So it's a matter of how much are people going to bow and take the knee to the powers that should not be, instead of standing up and saying, fuck you, and doing whatever you want to do, you know? Because ultimately, this country was founded upon the basis of freedom, right? Individual freedom, self-determination, and the responsibilities and consequences that go along with that. And part of that is having the right to defend yourself. And part of that is having the right to say, go fuck yourself. So, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, really. Bradley says we're already in the middle of a civil rights movement. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The one that we're in is contrived. I feel like the civil rights movement, quote unquote, that's going on right now almost feels fabricated to me. It feels plastic. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it's coming from the roots up. It's coming from, you know, it's being built. It's not natural. And it's being used to, like, do all kinds of things that aren't really for the movement, too. Like, when it's the government power behind the movement, it's not a movement for the people. It's a movement for the power. Tupperware says, speaking of which, the VAWA, I don't know what that is, now has has 2 rhino senators to push in red flag laws and other anti-gun garbage into it. The Violence Against Women's Act. Women's. Whammons.
The ladies.
Whammons.
Real quick, I'm just going to interrupt here, just very, very briefly, and then we can go right back to whatever we're doing here, which is not at all about Al-Qaeda. But I see Angry showed up late. Angry, did you watch it?
Oh, yes. All 6
You have?
episodes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I had 2. I just wanted to check. We'll talk more tomorrow.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
Did Angry watch what?
the new season of Letterkenny, which dropped today.
Oh, my Jesus.
And I finished the episode, all the episodes. So,
Fat Alley says we need to start a GoFundMe for Night Strike for his desperately needed camel toe reduction surgery.
I shouldn't laugh.
Thought that was a moose knuckle.
God damn it.
No, he needs a moose knuckle increasing surgery, not reduction. Incretion. That's not a word.
No, not at all.
Whammons. There was something that... Oh, Dustin Grimm says, not wearing a mask or getting a jab. And I fully support your choice in doing that. And if you want to walk around in places that say you have to wear a mask without a mask on, more power to you. I'm not saying you shouldn't. And certainly I'm not going to be the person in the store like shaming you for not wearing it. You know what I mean? That being said, when it comes to me, so I, don't have to deal with people's bullshit, I'll put a piece of paper out over my face while I'm at a store. When it comes to taking a jab in the arm, fuck that shit. I'm not doing it. I don't care. You can take away my job. You can take away my apartment. You can take away my car. I'll be living on the street, live streaming from my Obama phone, which they'll probably take away from me too. And we'll do it together, guys. I don't give a fuck.
When it comes to wearing the mask, I really prefer not to. If I go into a place and they're like, can you put on a mask, please? I'm like, no. And if they say, you need to put on a mask, then at that point, I'll weigh just how much I really want to go into that place. If I really want to go in there, then fine, I'll put on the mask. But otherwise, I'll just be like, all right, I'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, that's how I am. Like, I'll just be like, okay, 9 times out of 10, I don't need to actually go. Like, I'll go someplace else and do the shopping. Now, the only place where I haven't done that is the airports because I don't have an alternative to flying. You know.
You ever seen that episode of South Park
No.
where Stan comes up with an alternative to flying? And it's this like one-wheeled machine where you sit on a pogo stick penis-looking thing that goes up your butt to insert you into place, and then you got to like give 2 more dicks hand jobs to get it going while you suck on a fourth one rather.
I'm trying to think what the heck they called it. It was incredible. That episode was just insane.
And then at the end of it, they're like, why would you want to sit on that thing? And it puts a dick up your ass and makes you suck dick and whack dicks off. It's like, well, it's either that or go to deal with the airport or deal with the airlines. Oh my God. Driving is the alternative to flying. Motorcycling would be best, really.
Yeah, I mean, technically, yes, driving is an alternative to flying, but when I need to get to some place in a day that's cross country, I can't drive that in 24 hours.
Ride a horse?
I mean, I know how to ride a horse, but if I can't drive it in 24 hours, I definitely am not going to ride a horse.
It only increases the travel time by, a couple months. No big deal.
Unless that horse has a lot of drugs in its system.
Oh, Anonymous says that was Mr. Garrison, not Stan. That's right. Sorry. My mistake.
Yeah, I thought it was Garrison, but when you said Stan, I was like, maybe I just remember it wrong.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, to be honest.
But it would make sense that the gay teacher is the one that would invent a machine like that.
Daniel says all you got to do is buy a private jet, or you get one of those bushcraft planes that we were talking about a while back for like $60,000. I think was the the intro price.
Yeah, the
those things are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, then you got to build a fucking runway in your
driveway.
driveway.
Here at my apartment.
Runway?
Yeah,
I thought it took off in like 10 feet.
Well, you still need
you
something.
still need something. Like yeah. I can't really take it off from my apartment's parking lot. They'd probably frown upon that.
Just get it on the roof, and then
have
some gravitational potential energy by falling a little bit and get some speed going. Boom, done. Yeah, well, we were supposed to do a chat today on false flags and the secret history of Al-Qaeda, but it's very complicated, dude. Like, I started going through this fucking information and getting it in a way that I can convey it to everybody else. Like, the only way I can think of doing it is just like, hey, let's watch the video that I'm getting my information from together, and I can pause it and we can talk about shit as we go. Or we could just do a fucking chat. I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
Whatever you want to do. It's your chat.
It's your show.
Do what makes you happy.
Well, how about the audience? We'll put it on the audience then. Like, do you guys just want to do a chat? Or do you want to watch this false flag secret history of Al-Qaeda video and pause it and talk as we go?
I hope they all just say whatever Honda wants to do.
Because I don't really have a preference either way. Like, we can just sit here and talk. We can talk about masks and penises.
You know what I want to know right now? Everybody in here. What was the very first email address you ever had as a kid? Now, that's going to vary. Some of you guys had email addresses way earlier than I did, okay? I had my first email address like 97-ish, okay?
Are you saying what carrier?
No. I want to know what the name of your email address was, because you know that first email address was something that you regret. Like something you came up with as a kid. I was 19 or 20 when I had my first email address.
I can't remember what it was. I do remember that it was whatever at AOL.com, though.
Mine was right when Yahoo became a thing and started offering email addresses, which was way earlier than people realize, I think. It was before people used Yahoo commonly.
I made mine in, I think, 2013. 2003 or 2004. I was only like 14 years old at the point. And I actually still use that email address, so I probably shouldn't just hand it out.
So mine was, it's either my Hotmail address, which I still use, or it was like my college email address, which I think was just first initial, last name at like student.luzerne.edu or something like that.
Okay, well, mine was, prepare yourselves, I was 19. Magic, all caps, MAJIK, _ then in all caps, bone, _77 at yahoo.com. Magic bone. And I would send emails to like potential employers from this fucking email address.
Is that
Nice.
because 77 gets 8 more than 69?
That's the year I was born.
Oh, okay. Let's say
Magic
mine
phone.
was my
I haven't had it for a long time, but I was like,
mine was my initials, JJB. Then there's 5 numbers that followed at yahoo.com.
yeah, no, I just went straight to Magic Bone and just pretended like I think that not everybody would figure out what that meant. I think I just thought most people were stupid and wouldn't get it. I don't know why I thought that, but I did.
Old strategy there, Cotton.
Yeah. I kept that thing for a long fucking time.
Email me at ehonda_420 at compuserve.com. That's right, CompuServe. That's an old one. Oh, shit. People are saying both ways. They're like, Honda, do what you want. There's a couple of those. There were like a couple of them that were like, do the video, and there were a couple that were just chat. So I don't know, dude. I guess we'll just chat. Because this is it's a rather long video, to be honest.
Well, we're already 45 minutes in, so.
So yeah, I mean, if we started it and didn't pause it, we'd be at almost 3 hours by the time it was done.
Probably should have started that like 45 minutes ago.
You know what? I don't jump in your chats and tell you how to run that motherfucker. Like,
Hey. Calm down now. Okay? When you're on a road trip, I don't kick in the truck stop door and tell you how to take it up the ass, all right?
Hey,
calm down.
Matt, listen, you calm down. I don't walk into your work, slap the dicks out of your mouth and tell you how to suck them, right?
Mine was more creative, by the way, but yours
mine wasn't original, but it's funnier.
I mean, A for effort.
When I was brand new at my job, there was this dude who was cool as fuck who rode a motorcycle who later died on his bike. Fucking sad story, dude. He was I'll get off on the tangent first. He was riding home from work one night, and there were 2 trucks coming out of a neighborhood who were racing out of the neighborhood. Like, they were like literally racing each other to see who could get to the store or whatever first. And they went from the neighborhood to the main street where he was driving on his bike. First one pulled like right in front of him, so he fucking hit his brakes and laid his bike down trying to avoid it. And the second one pulled into the street and ran him over.
Wow.
And so check this out. They fucking got out of their trucks, looked at him. He's dying in the street. Not dead yet. Dying in the street. And they say, fuck, let's get out of here. Got in their trucks and left. Then they got caught. I don't know how. Somehow someone got their license plate or something like that. Went to court. Didn't even get jail time.
Jesus.
Why? Because my homie's family lives in a different state, wasn't able to come to the court date, so there was no advocate for the fucking victim. And so because there was no advocate for the victim in sentencing, they got off really, really light. Anyway,
wow.
Derek was his name. He was a cool dude. We were busy as fuck one night, and this lady comes up, and like we're all at a computer, like doing our thing, you know. And she's like, "I need this drink, and I want this, and I don't know why it's taking so long," or whatever the fuck she said. And then he goes, "Listen, lady," and then said the slap the dick out of your mouth line, right? Her eyes got huge. Her mouth dropped open. She turned around, shut up and sit back down at her table. Like, I was expecting her to fucking throw a fit and grab a manager, and but she didn't know what to fucking say, dude. It was the greatest thing I ever saw.
I saw this thing. It was, and I mean, who knows if it's real because I don't know who they were talking about. And it was this whole fucking thread. I guess it was. I don't know if it was on Reddit or Twitter or what. And it was a dude going, I was watching this girl streamer last night, and she's playing against another guy who then goes on to fucking rag her and tell her how much she sucks after she beats him and how she must be cheating and all this stuff. And he's like, and she just looked deadpan in the camera and goes, I'm going to fuck your dad and give him a child he's actually going to love. He's like, the dude didn't say anything else.
Oh, shit. Wow.
He's like, where do you go with that? It's like,
That is great.
Hey, Matt, how's your wife and my kids doing?
it's just like, where do you go with that? It's like, okay.
The only thing you can say is like, don't bring my brother into it or something. Like,
Colostomy Bag dropped in $5 said ATF is making all forms e-forms. So it will hopefully take a month to get an SBR and silencers. Would y'all get one then? Merry Christmas. Nope.
no.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Nope.
I'm okay with you getting one.
Fuck.
Once they're off the NFA, absolutely.
Yeah, if you could just walk into a gun store and buy one, then I'd get one. But yeah, it's a stupid fucking law, and I don't want to participate myself. Stephen Angel says, "What do you think about the Denver airport conspiracy theory?" So
That place is a fucking zoo.
I worked for the company that built DIA for a while, right? Like, I didn't work there while they were building it. I mean, while they were finishing it up is when I started working there. And I worked there for about 2 years. My buddy got me the job. He worked there. My buddy's dad worked there for like 30 years or some shit like that, right? He was on site at the DIA fucking airport while they were building it, while they were doing the dirt work underneath it, while they were doing all that shit. Every single day that they were building it. He built the highway that went out to it. He built not him like by himself, you know what I mean? But he built the fucking highway and he built the fucking airport. He was there every single day. If there was some sort of fucking secret underground pit tunnel system thing or whatever they say is the conspiracy theory there, he says that it's not. He says, like, he would know about it, and he says that it's not fucking there. He says that, like, the kind of equipment that they would need to build something like that was never on site. Like, they wouldn't have been able to, like, dig down into the dirt and do all that shit without the people on site knowing about it. And so as far as that part of it goes, I believe my buddy's dad over what some internet conspiracy people say. And especially, though, like, the dude was a conspiracy theorist himself. Like, his brother got into some shit with the FBI and ended up murdered or something, and he fucking hated the government ever since and all this other shit. Like, he was that guy. You know what I mean? But when it came to the DIA conspiracy theory, no. That being said, though, there's some weird ass murals on the walls of DIA of like children dead and people with gas masks and AKs and like all this weird shit going on. And there's like the horse outside that's called Blucifer because he's a blue horse with red eyes. He looks like the devil horse or something. They call him Blucifer. Like, there's some weird shit going on there. But I don't know. I've heard Denver's supposed to be like the new capital of America, like if we have nuclear war. So like if everywhere gets nuked, like DC and everything gets nuked, they're moving the capital to Denver.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be Cheyenne.
I don't know. Let's look that up. Maybe I'm wrong.
No.
If USA gets
I always heard it was Denver.
nuked, where is
It was
new?
Here's a Jericho reference.
Oh, is that why you pronounce it Cheyenne?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cheyenne. Oh.
Okay, so this is just what would happen if DC gets nuked.
I'm glad that that's looked up on your computer and not mine.
Yep.
I mean, if they're going to judge us by our internet search history, I think we're all fucked.
You're probably right.
Lucifer killed its creator. That's true. The horse, the fucking sculpture fell on the dude who made it and killed him. Isn't that crazy?
A little weird, not gonna lie.
I vaguely remember that, but I do remember that. Jack Bowers says, next thing you know, E Honda will be telling us Building 7 fell down natural. No, I would never tell you that. It fell down at free fall speed. You can see the bowing in the fucking ceiling. That's consistent with columns being knocked out by controlled demolition as it's falling down. Never got hit by a plane. Didn't have massive fires. Never an investigation. Smoking gun of 9/11. Building 7. Back Alley says, never give the ATF a reason to spot check you. So no FFL either. See, I thought about getting an FFL for a little while back a couple years ago, but then I was like, oh, that also means the ATF can just walk into your business, which was going to be my house at the time, and like search whatever they want and do whatever they want, basically, right? Like that's the deal.
Yeah. I mean, I had my CNR FFL for a while. It was more just like, it's kind of a nuisance, at least on my end, because like, yeah, it's cool having shit delivered directly to your house, but especially within the CNR market, like shit started going through the roof, so it made it so it wasn't really worthwhile to buy shit to collect it because just prices were too damn high. And then every time you did, you had to keep a logbook of it and everything like that. And it's every time you move, you have to update them, so you have to send letters to your local, municipality, let them know, send a letter to the ATF. It's just a pain in the dick.
How many guns did you end up buying through that with your FFL?
I bought 1, 2, 3, I think 5. I want to say 5, 4 or 5. I'd have to recheck my book, but
how much did that cost you to do?
So the FFL itself, I think, how much was it? I think it was less than $100 to set it up, and it was, all in all, it wasn't that bad. Like when I did it, if I recall correctly, you filed for it online. They sent you the paperwork. You filled it out. You sent a letter to your local sheriff or whatever, and then you sent the paperwork to the ATF, and then they just send you the certificate and everything. And then all they say is like they send you a whole book of like, here's the guns you can buy that are considered CNR, and then you have to have a separate log book where you keep a log of everything. And like I never sold any of those CNR guns, so not till after, like way after my FFL was done. But like if I was to sell any during that time, like I have to keep a log of it saying like who I sold it to, their address, like all their information. Like you're not allowed on a CNR to sell for profit. Like it's all supposed to be like collectors, like back and forth and shit. So like I couldn't like buy a bunch of Mosins for, $200, have them shipped to my house for free, and then sell them for $300, and then just be like, oh, I just sold a bunch of Mosins. Like you have to sell it for, somewhat close to value, and like you're supposed to get something in return for it. Like it was just kind of a headache to keep it. And I'm like, for what I'm doing, like it was stupid. I'm like, I'll just go to my local gun shop,
Well, I was gonna say, like, unless you're gonna buy like 100 guns, and then have to pay like $20 or $30 or whatever the transfer is for each gun. Then it ends up being like $3,000 that you're spending on a transfer. Or I could go get a CNR for $100.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But if like it's 5 guns for $20 a piece, so you pay $100, or you pay like $95 and go through a fucking headache hassle and all that shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, And that's the thing. Like at the end of the day, I broke even with it, so it wasn't like that bad. And it was nice from the standpoint of where I lived at the time. I didn't have any gun shops near me that really sold old CNR type guns that I would have been into. So it made sense at the time for where I was to have it. And when I first got it, like CNR guns were still like you could still get Mosins for cheap, like the Spanish Mauser I got for cheap, SKS. But like nowadays, completely not worth it in my book.
So did you see this? The senator who championed the Illinois criminal justice overhaul is carjacked at gunpoint, and her fucking husband had a gun, I think, or something like that she would have banned. Oh, yeah, here we go. Illinois State Senate Majority Leader Kimberly Lightfoot. Why are they all called Lightford? Never mind. Who championed the state's criminal justice reform omnibus legislation in January, was carjacked at gunpoint in suburban Broadview on Tuesday evening, authorities said. One of the hijackers fired multiple gunshots at Lightford's husband, who was not injured. 3 masked men exited a Dodge Durango and hijacked Lightford's Mercedes-Benz SUV at gunpoint. Why do they say the same shit again and again and again and again?
I was really hoping she was driving a Ford.
It's like you say it in the title, you say it in the first sentence, you say it in the last sentence of the first paragraph, you say it in the first sentence of the second paragraph. Like lazy writing. It's like when you're trying to fucking write a paper for an English class and you're like, well, I need 3,000 words. I know, I'll just keep repeating this phrase. She is a Giffords anti-gunner total hypocrite. The incident was a short statement saying that it was thankful that my husband and I are alive and physically unharmed. I am trying to process the trauma of what happened. Her husband was driving the Mercedes and carjacked. Stuck. Police say that McKinley was Lightfoot shot in the incident. Wait. Police did not say if McKinney or Lightfoot fired any shots in the incident. So he did have a gun. Okay, so he had a gun to defend themselves from a carjacking that, if she had her way, would be illegal for him to have. And that makes sense how?
I just want to know if the irony is lost on her.
Yeah, I mean, rules don't apply to them. It's only to everybody else, you know?
Have you ever heard about the hemorrhagic fever? What is that? Hemorrhagic fever in China? They locked down 3 cities and compromise of 10 million people. Is that the hemophiliac AIDS spreading that they accidentally gave like 10 million people AIDS in China by accident on purpose? They knew that they were doing it, but they did it anyway. I think that was Pfizer. Might not have been Pfizer. I don't remember who it was. Shit, I don't remember. All right, listen to this. This is now on mainstream media, although this is local mainstream media, so it's not on in places like fucking CNN or whatever yet. But
to 2 of the COVID vaccines. It comes after a CDC advisory panel found that there is a likely association between the vaccines and a rare heart inflammation in young people. The heart condition is called myocarditis. It's an inflammation of the heart muscle. The most common cause is a viral infection.
Your heart muscle is not able to pump as efficiently as it does if it doesn't have a viral inflammation.
Now, word that the mRNA vaccines may be associated with more than 1,200 cases of this rare heart inflammation in young people. The problem is more likely after the second shot.
They say 1,200 cases, but isn't that like grossly underreported? They say it's between 10 and 1% is what's actually reported, meaning between 90 and 99% is not. Sorry, I was coughing.
This is just now hitting mainstream news. I felt like I've been hearing about this for months.
Yeah, well, that's how far behind they are. And I think 1,200 is grossly underestimated, to be honest. But I don't know. Hillbilly Nitro USA says, tell me that story about the Stanley Hotel you talked about last night. All right, so I used to work for the 4 Points Sheraton on Hamden and I-25 in Denver, right? And we were sister partner companied with other hotels. So sometimes when another hotel needed extra help, they were having a party, they were short-staffed, whatever, they could call the other hotels and be like, look, we need a bartender, we need a whatever, right? And they would ask for a volunteer. And then if you volunteered, you would, go to that place and you get a different uniform and you sign in for a night and work for a night or a week or whatever it was. And, then you're back at your hotel. So there was this fancy party thing at the Stanley Hotel and they needed an extra bartender. So they asked for a volunteer. I happened to have a night off. So I said, fuck it, I'll do it. Went up there and bartended at the Stanley Hotel, just like the dead guy who convinced Jack to fucking kill his family. Anyway, I digress. The shift ends, and the food and beverage director had his office in the basement, and directly behind his desk, there was this fucking old tunnel. And I guess the tunnel was used back in the day when the Stanley Hotel was first built, so that the rich people who were staying at the hotel could walk into town and do shopping without walking through the snow and ruining their shoes or whatever. So they built them their own tunnel so that they could walk through the tunnel and not get dirty and go, yeah. But this shit was like 100 years old, right? And had been long since condemned. And they put like this big steel gate in front of it. And in front of the steel gate was my, the food and beverage director's desk. And at the end of my shift, I had to go down there with my cash register and all my receipts and stuff. And we had to do like a checkout where you count your drawer and make sure it adds up and, like sign a piece of paper and leave. Well, while we're doing that, I'm sitting there at his desk. He gets a radio call and he's like, I'll be right back. I had to go take care of something. He's gone for about 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, I swear to fucking God, I heard a child's voice coming from the tunnel. And I could not wait to get the fuck out of there.
Imagine having to sit there all day, like doing work, and you just hear kids keep laughing behind you. It's like, shut the fuck
up. Corey Long says, did Matt pull a Duke and fall asleep?
I'm here. I muted myself because I was eating. I didn't want to be like crunching on the phone or on the microphone.
Like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Banana noises.
I muted myself while I ate my sandwich.
Banana. This is the most awesome thing about Honda, hands down. What is that story? Yeah, I don't know. X Adam 1 says, put some Gorn in your Discord of my beside to go to. What? Your bedside go to. I do have a gun porn area in my Discord called Pew Pew Porn. Because I want to be different.
You need a channel that says beside to go to.
Oh, there's Gun Library Garrett's video. That's his bedside go-to. With the Punisher skull on it. Isn't that the kind of shit that would get you in trouble in court? Not in trouble, but like, it's just more argument and more explanation that you'd have to do in court.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they could use like...
his own. I mean...
I was just going to say, if that's their main focus, they're really grasping at straws at that point.
Well, I mean, shit, dude, you watched the fucking Kyle Rittenhouse trial, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, and that's my whole point. When they're grasping at straws like that, I mean, you're doing pretty well. they're just throwing anything at the wall at that point to try and hope something sticks.
Yeah, but it's all they need is that one little bit, and that's the difference between you walking free and never seeing the light of day again.
Mark Anthony says, "What are your guys' thoughts on the HK VP9 full size?"
It's a nice gun. It's their kind of a
perfectly fine gun.
Yeah, I mean it's in that same price range as like your MMPs and your Glocks and things like that. In fact, sometimes I see them a little bit cheaper. So it's a good gun for what it is. Just a polymer striker fired gun.
Only pain in the ass is your aftermarket is not going to be as much if that matters to you, and magazines are going to be more expensive because they say HK on them.
Yep.
And as far as striker fired triggers go, it's supposed to be one of the best.
Yeah.
But it's a striker fired trigger, so
Dude, that's an awesome fucking scope mount there. Looks great. X Adam 1 says, "I'll say that it's the same skull the police officers often wear." And X Adam 1 says, "I can't believe that I bought an M&P 15 for only $430. That's actually a pretty fucking good deal right now."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Lucky son.
Although I am starting to see gun prices come back. I mean, we've said for the past year we're starting to see gun prices come back to normal, but like I'm really starting to see them because I was just at the gun shop today, like really come back to normal prices again.
Now ammo needs to do that.
Yeah, no shit.
I feel like AR-15s are probably way underpriced for what you get because of how many manufacturers there are and how many different options there are. Like, all they've done is provide more competition for each other and drive the price down to the point where the small companies can't even fucking make it anymore, I don't know. Like, they learned from 2012. Because before 2012, like, they just kind of had their production and only a few well, there was a number of companies, but not compared to today, how many companies make AR-15s, right? And you could pretty much count on paying like $700-800 for a decent AR. Nowadays, it's like you can fucking piece one together for less than $4, It's just unreal how cheap you can get them. I like it. I like it a lot. So these 4 people were accused for a follow home robbery where a man was murdered while trying to protect his girlfriend. Thieves have been picking out victims from expensive venues and robbing them at gunpoint of their valuables at home. So they'll like wait outside like a really expensive venue and then wait for you to hop in your Mercedes and be like, okay, that Mercedes, and then follow you all the way back to the suburbs. And then when you pull in your driveway, 4 dudes fucking hop out of their car and follow you inside. Well, this guy wasn't having it. And so they shot him like 15 times. This is why you carry, people. This is why you are aware of your surroundings. Like, remember when Ray was talking about driving to his grandma's house because there was some people in a car following him?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Same kind of shit. Like, that's exactly what was going on there. And he just happened to have, or she just happened to have a AR pistol in the front seat. So didn't work out quite the same as they would have liked it to, I don't think. But yeah. I don't know where this shit's at. Dude, that guy got taken out by the guy just got hit, bro. Did you see that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He didn't get out of the way at all. It was one of these 2 dudes. I forget which. Both of them. Duck, do something. I don't know. It's probably not funny.
I mean, it's probably just like panic at that moment. It's like,
We don't want Biden. We want revenge for police murders, imperialist wars, and fascist massacres. What fascist massacres are they talking about?
Fucking hell.
I feel like they're just saying things.
Infectious disease expert Michael Osterholm say that we're about to experience a viral blizzard.
Expert now warns of viral blizzard as the country braces for a viral blizzard.
There will be a viral blizzard of COVID cases.
The country is facing a viral blizzard.
A COVID viral blizzard. A viral blizzard is about to hit the U.S.
One infectious disease expert
Not a
said
viral blizzard.
a viral blizzard is about to hit this country.
I think we're really just about to experience a viral blizzard.
You ever think that they're getting fucking marching orders from somewhere up high? Especially when they're all using the exact same phraseology about a thing, you know? There's a million examples of this, too. This isn't the only one. There's all kinds of videos out there that are like... I can't even remember the example, but like they'll all say the same thing, just like this. Like, oh, we'll all say the same thing, just like this. We'll all say the same thing, just like this. We'll all say the same thing, just like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking stupid.
I wonder if we're going to get a viral blizzard.
You know, I heard we're going to get a viral blizzard.
Alex Parlin says, how about that video where Biden says, let's go, Brandon?
Oh
That
my
was great. That was fucking great.
It was so good.
I don't think I've seen this.
Oh my God, you're going to laugh your ass off. Look up, it's like Christmas reply, Biden says, let's go, Brandon, or something.
Yeah, it's like a dad's asking him a question on like some phone call interview thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, you search that out, and everything's about this story, about the Oregon father.
Here, I'll find it for you.
That's
Hold on.
it, yeah. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Penelope, she's only 2, so I think she'd be happy with it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, oh, that's wonderful that you have a 2-year-old. Well, have a Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas.
And by the way, you guys have to be in bed by 9 o'clock, you know, and asleep between 9 and 12. He doesn't show up.
This isn't to you, Jared. This is to the kids.
That's right.
I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way,
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Does he even know? Obviously not.
No. Like he clearly like doesn't understand. Which again, if he wasn't such a piece of shit human being, like I would feel bad for him, but I don't. So.
Okay, I realize like he's like president of the free world and all this other shit, right? But like it seems to me that if there was like viral memes about me on the internet, I would at least know of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying like I would be like, I don't know. There was like a ton of different ones, then maybe not. You know, like there was like a million different memes, and you're pointing out at some obscure one. I probably wouldn't, you know, like that. But this is a pretty big meme that's going on around these days. Corey Long says, my wife is in college. In one of her classes, the assignment was during the zombie apocalypse, what will become of the most valuable items one would need to survive and thrive? Wait, what is that?
I feel like they don't want those answers.
What will become the most valuable items one would need to survive and thrive? Well, I mean, first you need a good fucking shelter from the zombies. You need some place that you can fortify and not be bitten in the middle of the night when you're pooping or sleeping, right? Definitely need some sort of protection, which means guns. So pick your flavor. You definitely need enough food to not have to wander off into the zombie apocalypse and try to find more and potentially get eaten, right? You want to have, be able to hold up in your place, which also means water. You're going to want some medical supplies, things that you might need on a daily basis, Tylenol, Band-Aids, that kind of shit. I don't know what's less important than that. I mean, ammo with the guns, but I was kind of putting that with guns because you can't, like, a gun doesn't really matter for much if it's just a fucking gun, right? You need the ammo to go with it.
Yeah.
So I think I know the ultimate zombie vehicle that nobody ever thinks of, and that's a fire truck. That is also a water tanker, because then you can carry your own fresh water source. They're made to just go through pretty much anything. You have a place to sleep. Potential medical supplies already on hand.
Gas mileage is a little shitty, but
Yes, we'll give you that.
but I do like, and they sit high enough up that you could definitely sleep in there. You wouldn't really have to worry about a zombie opening the door and pulling you out.
Mm-hmm. If you come to debris in the road or anything, you go over most of the time, and if not, you probably have some tools on board already to try and clear the roadway.
Yeah.
When I was like 16 years old, I got my first car. I bought it from my grandpa. And we were driving around the streets of Denver in my new to me car, right? And it was raining like crazy and all this shit was going on. And all of a sudden the road that we're on just like fills up with water. And the next thing you know, my car is fucking bobbing up and down because there's so much water that like the fucking, like the front end with the engine is staying like in contact with the ground. But the back end with the fucking trunk that's empty is acting like a buoy, right? So the back end's just bobbing up and down. And we're like, fuck, like me and a couple of my friends in the car, right? And then this fire truck, we hear it, and the lights are on, and it's coming towards us. And we're like, oh, awesome. Someone called the police. Like, the fire truck's on the way. They're going to save us. This is awesome. No, they were not coming there for us. They were on their way to somewhere else. They drove through the big puddle pond that we're in, right? Their fucking truck was big enough and tall enough to not stall out. And it drove right through. And it picked up this giant wave that picked my car up and moved it like 100 yards. It was so fucking scary, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we got a couple of super chats. Watch Jill Biden's face go down after he says it, LOL.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Hey, by the way.
Yeah, you saw her face do that thing.
She's just like, God damn it, you idiot.
Oh, I'm trying to pause it just the right spot.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Oh, damn it, it went away. I clicked too many times. Pyro knows it all, says the same thing. His wife's reaction is the funniest part. So apparently this guy's been getting death threats after that and shit like that. Because he said, let's go, Brandon, to the president. Like, oh my God, you better get death threats now.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy shit we live through these days, huh? Corey Long says, she came right out to me and helped me because this is up your alley. LOL. I couldn't believe it was a college assignment. Oh, with the zombie thing. Yeah. I don't know. What could you trade in a zombie apocalypse to other survivors for goods and things that you need?
Oh,
I mean, ammo, food.
Well, I look to
booze.
Tobacco, booze.
Yeah, okay.
Stuff like
marijuana.
Yeah, seriously, coffee, fucking coffee. You know what I mean, things people get hooked on in one way or another.
Ass.
I mean, certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say dog food. Because think about how many people have dogs but not enough dog food. Now you can get a blowjob for a bag of dog food. You get whatever you want for a bag of dog food.
And say blowjob for a bag of dog food. I mean, that's just another way to say $20 is $20.
Daniel says seeds. Tupperware says stealth backpack weapon like a spear or machete would be good to use against small numbers. I wouldn't want to get close to zombies, man. Like, I better be on the other side of a fucking fence if I'm using a melee weapon so that I can stab them through the fence or whatever, you know? Or
I don't want to get close
from a rooftop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be anywhere near them.
I don't want to get close to them, but if that's, what I have, then, or if I'm trying to be a little bit more quiet, then...
Well, yeah, but what if that's how you get the fucking zombie disease? You stab them with your knife or your fucking sword or whatever, and then you get some blood on, like, little cut on your hand or whatever. You get some zombie blood in your cut. Now you're a zombie.
That's why you wear gloves and shit.
If I do it from a rooftop, like, that blood splatter is going to have to go quite a ways to get to me. I carry my revolver in single action says, your wife. Practical Body says, your body. Chili Peen says, prostitution. Glad you guys are all thinking.
I mean, all these things work.
Tobacco goes bad. I guess eventually. I don't know. There was that documentary Waterworld.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Seems to me that tobacco was pretty old. And they were still smoking it. How do you say that last name? Richard
Probst.
Marchenko?
Oh.
Richard Marchenko.
Let's look it up.
Oh yeah, he was like the first like Navy SEAL or something, or not first Navy SEAL, but like he was like
first
the
commanding
first, like,
officer.
Yeah, he was like the first like tactical like Navy SEAL. Like I think he formed like SEAL Team 6 or something like that. I could be wrong on that, but I know he had some major part in some part of the SEALs.
Jose Morgan says an apocalypse vehicle and an MRAM or 5-ton military truck that can use diesel or any oil. And I don't know this, but can't diesels run off of vegetable oil?
They can. They need some conversion aspects to them to run properly off of it, but they can. The military vehicle would be best. Like if you could get one of those. No, the big trucks and stuff like that are awesome, and like MRAPs are cool, but they get shitty gas mileage. So even if you're burning whatever, if you're only getting 5 miles to the gallon, it's really not worth it. But if you can get one like the old like 80s or 90s like Chevy Blazers or something like that the military had that were the flex fuels, like those are perfect because yeah, they're gonna get shitty gas mileage, but they're gonna get a lot better than the trucks do, and you can burn anything in them.
Well, as far as I understand, in every power line, like power pole that has a transformer, those transformers are filled up with mineral oil. And mineral oil would work too. So all you got to do is like climb a fucking utility pole or whatever. Or even just like put like some fucking tarps down and shoot holes in it. You know what I mean? And collect a bunch of that shit and put it in your gas tank.
Yeah, I don't really want to climb transformer lines because it's a lot of sparky spark stuff.
I'm assuming there's not much sparky sparks going on if people are starting to dismantle transformers so that they get fuel for their MRAP.
I'm hoping not, but you never know.
Well, and I mean, in that case, you just fucking shoot holes in it.
Yeah.
What is this? Fucking, I can't copy and paste it from StreamYard. God damn it. Hold on. Let me go to YouTube. I can't. Okay, Breitbart. There we go. Hannah Jones' parents shouldn't decide what's being taught in schools. Leave that to the educators.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Let me just start with this. Describe in your own words what the 1619 Project is and its mission.
The 1619 Project is a book now. It began as a magazine and a special section of the New York Times. And what it is it marks the advent of African slavery in the original 13 colonies. So 1619 is the year the first Africans were sold into slavery in Virginia. And what the project argues through a series of essays is that very little about American life today has been left untouched by the legacy of slavery and the anti-Blackness that developed in order to justify it. So it is trying to place the slavery as an institution, which is one of the oldest institutions in America, really at the center of the...
That's not true. It can't be one of the oldest institutions in America if they abolished it in 1863 or whatever, right? Because that means there's been 150 years since then that it hasn't been an institution in the United States. And hence, anything that was started 149 years after slavery, all the way up to the same time as slavery that's still going on today, is in fact older in this country than slavery.
Story that we tell ourselves about our country and to explain so much about American life through that.
They really want me to play Hero Wars.
Did you intend for the 1619 Project to become public school curriculum? Or did you intend it to start a debate to improve the curriculum of how we teach American history?
Well, when I first pitched the project, I simply pitched it as a work of journalism, which it is. I mean, I'm a journalist at the New York Times, and I pitched a project to run as a piece of journalism in the New York Times. Now, some months in, as we were working on the project, we began to talk about that this could be a great learning tool for students. Particularly, we were thinking about the broadsheet that ran in partnership with the National Museum of African American History and Culture that talks about teaches slavery through objects found in that museum. Now, the New York Times has an education division. The New York Times regularly turns its journalism into curriculum, as does the Pulitzer Center, who we ultimately partnered with. They are constantly turning works of journalism into curriculum. It's only become controversial because people have decided to make the 1619 Project controversial.
No, it's controversial because instead of teaching kids in school about history and about science and about math and about English and social studies and the normal fucking things that you have to learn in school, you're shoveling critical race theory theme lessons down their throats and into their heads and poisoning their minds against the country that has more freedom than any other country in the world, as far as I understand. I don't know, maybe you could name another country in the world that has more freedom than us. But as far as I fucking get it, we've got it the best. More or less. Right? So point to a fucking system that works better. Point to something that, is working better than the system that we have working for us. And I'm not saying it's perfect. It totally needs improvement. There's totally things in our country that are fucked, right? And that we need to stand up and say, this is fucked. We need to change it. But to throw the baby out with the bathwater, to go back and say, hey, the entire history of this country, which was based upon these fundamental principles, which are slavery and white supremacy, and it's still going on today, and how evil you are if you're white, and all this other shit that they're cramming down kids' throats. That's not what people fucking wanted. That's not a debate. That's indoctrination. That's fucking turning kids into activists as soon as they get out of fucking high school or college. It's bullshit. I missed a super chat. Oh no. Daniel says, Transformer mineral oil is 100% known to cause cancer. All right, so maybe wear some gloves. Glass says many of the newer 1990s plus Transformers are filled with vegetable oil, FR3 or equivalent is 95% vegetable oil with some additives. Others have mineral oil. Well, again, either one would work for running a fucking diesel, right? Historians have disavowed the project. Oh, good.
I was gonna say that would work. I mean, vegetable oil works.
What the fuck? Zombie Killer says Alex Jones's wife was arrested on domestic violence charges on Christmas Eve.
I thought he was divorced.
No, he's remarried. So it would be his new wife, who was hotter than his old wife. But if she... It's a Merry Christmas there, buddy. Like we were talking on the chat last night about not hearing many sirens go by. Like apparently not in Austin. Daniel Alexander says 75% of the South did not own servants. 95% of that 25% did not own servants, only owned 2 or less. Most of the African servants were owned in Spain and were treated like slaves in gold and silver mines. It's true. She attacked him, apparently. Hold on. We gotta look this up. Alex Jones. DV. Domestic violence. Alex Jones' wife arrested for alleged domestic violence. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. Jones was a right-wing founder of InfoWars and a private family matter that happened on Christmas Eve. Jones told the Associated Press, "I love my wife and care about her. And it appears to be some kind of medication imbalance." Jones did not disclose exactly what transpired Friday evening, nor elaborate on if he had been injured. His wife, Erica, was arrested by the sheriff deputies who took her into custody and put her into an Austin jail about 8:45 p.m. Friday. She faces misdemeanor charges, assault charges, bodily injury to a family member, or resisting arrest, jail records show. She did not receive a bond Saturday afternoon. Jones told the outlet his wife's arrest doesn't concern his fringe political views, and that if it was some kind of personal hateful thing or anything, or if it wasn't some kind of hateful thing or anything.
So it wasn't with him. She fucking got in some shit with some family. That's what I'm reading into that.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it would sound like that.
Family came into town, started some shit with each other, and somebody started swinging, which used to just be the holidays, and you didn't get arrested for that. I'm just saying.
I feel like it's not a good holiday if you're like you don't have family kind of throwing blows at each other.
I mean, hell, there was a time back when you could, even like have a family member go and like kidnap your boss for not giving you your fucking, Christmas bonus. And in the end, once you explained everything, the cops and the SWAT would leave your fucking house and just leave you alone.
No, they'll drink eggnog with you is what they'll do. And they'll sing Christmas carols.
Yeah, the boss would,
holy shit.
And the boss would add 20% to your bonus. So
that was just the holidays, man. That's just Christmas. Come on.
Yeah.
America. Miss that, America.
Well, that was funny. Happy Festivus, everybody.
Happy Festivus.
It's a Festivus.
Now you can't even empty your friggin' RV shitter tank into the friggin' sewer without getting a funnel.
Like a quick moment of silence for the tens of thousands of children we lost last night to Krampus. You will be missed by your families, but really nobody else. You were shitty kids. So.
Speaking of, if anyone, I mean, granted, I know Christmas is over, but if anyone needs a good holiday movie to watch, while they're still kind of in the spirit, Amazon has a movie called Santa Jaws. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Santa Jaws.
It's about the same realm as like Velocipaster, but a little bit higher budget.
Okay. Now are we talking like Sharknado budget?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little better.
It has a sharpened.
So Sharknado 5 budget because they spend more and more money with each one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to play the trailer.
Go for it. I mean, I doubt the movie made enough money to.
Wow. Just fuck, dude.
I think the pictures are enough. It's fine.
Yep.
He's stabbing a guy with a candy cane fucking horn, unicorn horn. Daniel says, what sucks is since she's been charged with domestic, Alex can't have a gun in the same house with her anymore. I thought it wasn't charged with. I thought it was convicted of.
Yeah, because I think if you're charged, as long as you're not actually a felon, and even then, like
a felon,
there's some leeway with that, because even if someone in the house is a felon, as long as they don't have access to that, has always been my understanding. So
it really
as long as
depends
he had
on
like locked in a safe that she didn't have access to or something.
Oh my
depends on your state laws and things like that. It gets a little hairy.
Just wait. I looked over at Prime because I wanted to see this Santa Jaws, and underneath it, recommended, is Llamageddon.
Oh my God!
Here's the brief description: a killer llama from outer space crash lands on Earth and begins raining havoc on a group of unsuspecting college partiers. It's got a 4 out of 5 rating.
I've actually heard about this.
I gotta go look it up now.
I kind of want to see it now.
But yeah, that's the other thing, though. She's only been charged. That's not being convicted. If you get charged with murder, but then, like Rittenhouse, he was found innocent on all counts. Well, he was still charged at one point, but that doesn't mean he can never own a gun again because he was never convicted.
Yeah, charging, you have to be convicted of a domestic violence. And that's what it says on the 4473 is, have you ever been convicted of a domestic violence charge? It doesn't say, have you ever been charged with domestic violence? It says convicted. So,
and here's another
if you
thing.
go to court and you plea it down or whatever happens and you don't actually get charged with that, then it doesn't count.
Here's another thing, though. Everybody thinks, oh, you got to have a felony, No. You can have misdemeanors and be a prohibited person. And actually, when they just changed the 4473 this last time, where they put, I think, non-binary or something as a sex option or whatnot, when you're going through the questions, it used to be, have you ever been convicted of a crime where you be incarcerated for 2 years or more? It now changes that to 1 year.
I spent a night in jail once. Does that count?
I don't think so.
I mean, it
only depends on what you were charged with and if you were convicted of, and then if that crime that you're convicted of, you could have spent 1 year or more in jail, then yes.
So it was for a speeding ticket that I paid that they never put in their system that I paid for it. And then they issued a warrant because in their system I hadn't paid for it, even though I had. And then a year later, I got pulled over again for something completely unrelated. And then they ran my information and I had this warrant out, which I shouldn't have had because I paid for it. And then I went to jail and I got bailed out the next morning and all this other shit. And then it was like 2 or 3 months later, I got a letter in the mail. An apology letter from the original court that I had paid saying, oh, sorry about that. Our bad. Hey, if you want your money back, drive 4 hours across Colorado and be here at 7 o'clock in the morning for a hearing. Thanks. I never went.
I feel like I would have taken that letter to a lawyer.
If I was richer or smarter, I didn't have money for a lawyer, and I wasn't really thinking about that at the time, to be honest. But yeah, I probably should have fucking sued the fuck out of him. Fucking guns and deals. All you do. Post a link, 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 post a link. That's all I fucking do. Oh, here's a video of a plane crash. Post a link, 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 link. Hey, here's a funny meme. Link, 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 link. Fucking, I don't know. I don't like that guy very much. Something about him rubs me wrong.
I couldn't tell.
Would never guess.
I don't know, man. Did you guys all see The Matrix yet?
Nope.
Yes.
Never saw
On a
the first
scale
one.
of 1 being super liberal to 10 being super like right-wing based, where would you put this movie?
I'd say right in the middle. I mean, I don't really feel at any point it pulled politics on any specific part.
It did. Sort of. I don't know if it was politics as much as just commentary on modern society.
Yeah, that's
Which I
more.
guess some
That's more
people
what I
would-
got was just yeah.
Which I guess could be political, or maybe not. I don't fucking know.
I would say it's probably like 7 or 8, because it all revolved around like the male and the female and how they're needed to come together as one to be all that they can be together, and alone they are not, but together they are. Like that whole fucking thing seemed kind of trans exclusionary.
Which is interesting considering who directed it.
Right. But I think, look at the age of the people who directed it, right? Like, these aren't, like, young trans kids who've been indoctrinated into it. They're, like, old trans women now, I guess, right? Is what you would call them. So they've been around the block. They see the fucking propaganda and the bullshit in the world, and I think they're doing what they can to fucking counteract some of it. I think that they see a lot of the damage that's happening to these kids who are being put on hormone blockers and having irreversible surgery done at young ages before they know the full consequences of it, and then later on in life committing suicide or whatever. Like, there's a lot of that shit going on today, dude. Well, I think we're about done here. I got nothing else. You guys got anything else?
Not on my end.
Nothing that I can think of.
Well, I say that. Every time I say that, fucking super chats come in. Okay, I think we're done. Never mind, we got super chats.
Oh boy, I said I'm done. People threw money at me. Must suck to be Honda.
Jose Morga says, go back 8,000 years, been conquered, sold. Yeah, if you go back far enough, I think pretty much every group of people in the entire world have been slaves at one point or another, right?
Just about, yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not saying just about. I'm saying literally, there's not a single group of people that at one time or another, in some part, has not been enslaved. No ethnic group, no regional group, nothing. No religious group.
Well, I'm sure there's like some island Pacific or like fucking nation or something where it's like 5 people in a tribe that have never been slaves because like
No, dude, 4 of those motherfuckers didn't work as hard as that other guy, you know? that one dude had to work extra hard, and they picked on him. Daniel says, conviction rate for domestic is over 70%. Generally, if you're the party arrested for it, I can't fucking read now. If you're the party arrested for it now, prohibited, but maybe not with Alex money, living in the same house as a gun is considered possession by feds. Really? So even if you're in the same house and the gun is locked away and you have no idea what the fucking combination of the safe is or whatever, you were still technically considered in possession if the feds come to your house. Can anyone fucking confirm or deny this?
What if you
I
live
don't
in a
know
house
about
with guns?
federal.
See,
Yeah, it is. Yes, if you are prevented from owning a gun and you live in a house where there are guns, yes, that is still considered possession by you legally. That's not just federal. That's in most states.
Even if it's locked away and you don't know the
Yes.
key, you don't have the key.
Yes, doesn't matter. Legally, there's no differentiation between whether it's locked up or not.
Well, technically, then I shouldn't have been able to have a gun at the house that I lived at. I mean, it was a roommate, but he was definitely a felon.
Well, you wouldn't have been in trouble for it. He would have.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It wouldn't have come down on you. It would have been him violating the law by living in a house where there are guns. It's not your responsibility to, get rid of your guns on his behalf, especially in that situation. Maybe there's a fine line if it's like someone you're married to and they can say, look, this person you're married to is a felon. You're not, that they can't live in the house with guns, unless you're going to, get a divorce and move away from each other. You can't have guns in the house either. There might be some legal grounds there that I'm unaware of, but in general, no, it falls on the felon.
Joey Savoy dropped in $5, and I really like it if we ended up going over the topic in another gay frog chat since we didn't really get into it. All right, I'll tell you what. Next week, we will watch this video. It is almost 2 hours long. It's packed full of good information. CorbettReport.com. We'll do that.
Santa Jaws is 2 hours long.
What's that?
So Santa Jaws is 2 hours long?
Yes.
It seems long for a movie like that.
It needs to be longer, really. They cut too much out of it.
It was perfectly paced.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back tomorrow night for my phone going off at an inopportune time chat. Twice in a row. 3
Damn
times. Stop it, Matt. Stop texting me.
Not me. Not this time.
Who the fuck is this?
I don't know. Ain't me.
That's 5 in a row now.
Pick up the phone and look.
I'm doing. Well, what do you think I'm doing right now?
Complaining about it.
Is it the group text? I don't know, because I have my notifications turned off.
That is why I have notifications turned off for the group
chat. Exactly. My own. Sometimes y'all get into conversations, it's like ding 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 ding. I'm just like, nope, not doing this.
It's just my ex texting me a bunch. I don't know why. All right, we're done here. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out. Shall not pee in fridge. Go, you know the thing. Shoot dominant under pressure. What else?
Pressure.
Oh, go, you know the thing. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.
Adios, Felicio.